back and you're gonna be in trouble. Hey now, Freddy's back. Ooh, Freddy's back.
Freddy's back and you're gonna be
in this movie. He may not actually be a sex pest. Hey now, Freddy's back. Turns out he is still.
Is he innocent?
Freddy's been gone for such a long time.
Hey now, he's been gone a long time.
He got in trouble because he touched the kids in preschool.
Hey now, Freddy's back.
Hey, he's gonna touch our kids.
Hey, he's gonna touch your kids.
Hey. Okay.
All right, let's get started.
All right. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come. They said. That's all I know of.
Oh, but I could sing the whole
Okay.
song.
I don't know this song well.
They said, I'll bet they'll never make it, but just look at us.
You ruined it,
Still
Johnny.
together, still going strong.
Still the one.
Still the one I run to. The only one I want.
I gotta say, guys, this is the last podcast, and it's a bittersweet
Oh my God.
symphony that's life.
I honestly though, like it is kind of sad to me that this is the final Freddy.
Yeah, it is like such a shame that Freddy doesn't know that we liked all the movies. Just kidding, we only liked a couple of them.
No, this is sad.
That's a hard one to sing with.
I have had a blast doing these. I wish we ended on a better movie.
Yeah. It's okay though. You're gonna see him again in your dreams. Dreams.
Until then, I guess we could dream on.
Well, the last one was the outro music for the movie.
That's
so it
true.
made sense.
I
It was
know.
just went a little too far.
I did.
You
I
didn't use Freddy in your
know.
lyrics.
If we're being honest, the two people that listen to this podcast turned it off after we went into the second song. So.
Yeah. It should have stayed though, because I thought the third song we really hit stride.
We nailed it.
But yes, we're back, and we're doing the reboot, reimagining,
The
remake, the Freddy.
Freddie Riri.
This is the
This was Freddy Riri.
Yeah.
the
Bad
2010,
Gal Freddy.
the 2010 A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's just get into it. What do we think, Austin?
God, I got thoughts.
I have a ton of fucking thoughts.
First of all, Freddy sucked. Like his face.
He was kitty cat. He looked like cats.
He looks like a cat and a goldfish
They
combined.
had digital fur technology.
He kind of looked like Voldemort to me.
Yes!
Yeah, he
Wait,
looks
hey, don't say his name.
Yeah. He looked like.
Hey.
He must not be named.
He that who that's he died.
The man
That's
that you don't.
Yoda saying Voldemort.
Man be not be.
Say his
named.
name. You do not.
Man not named he is. Anyway, yeah.
Stupid.
He looked dumb. He wasn't fucking funny. Like Robert Englund was fucking funny. This guy's not funny. He tries to be creepy. He's not creepy. He's not funny, but he tries to be. Like everything about Freddy sucks. I also hate how they recreated the kills in this movie from the first one.
Oh God. Yes.
And then changed the names of the characters, even though they kept the kills the exact
Except
same.
Nancy. Nancy was the one
Nancy was the
holdover.
one. Yeah.
But her last name, I looked up. It's different. Why even change the
Well,
last
they
name?
even had Chris, and in the first movie it was Tina, and
Right.
I made the connection of Christina.
And you were right about that connection.
But they, because they even did that scene where they drag her in the body bag down the school hallway.
Yeah.
That happened in the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a much better way.
In a much better way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you want to Oh yeah, you're still talking.
Yeah. Still talking, Jeff.
Oh, it's just like Austin gets to get his thoughts out a lot, and then we all go, "Oh, let's hurry up," so we don't stand.
All right, fine. Fucking talk, Jeff. That's what you want. Just fucking talk, okay?
No, Austin, finish what you're saying.
I don't know. I was trying to think of things that I liked. There were things I liked. They exited my brain.
Was not a lot that I liked.
Interrupted. Yeah, no, not a whole lot, but there were a couple of things. Jeff, go.
I just think there should next year maybe we shouldn't have so many people in this podcast. No, this movie fucking sucked. It made me hate all of Freddy. I just right off the bat, they just redid all the fucking kills, but in a worse way. They looked worse. Everything looked worse. Mm-hmm. Too much dialogue and background bullshit. Don't fucking care. What was great about the first one? They got into it and it just didn't stop until the end.
Yes.
This one gave you too much background. It wasn't even background. It was just dialogue of like cutesy bullshit.
Felt like a CW show. I think I said that.
No coffee under anyone's bed.
So this
no drunk mothers.
No drunk mother.
This movie, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
I like that you did.
But this Jeff is rock hard. No, this movie, I feel we need to let the listeners know, did come out in 2010. And I think something we need to remember about 2010 is the culture of it all was garbage. There were terrible, like all pop culture was so bad in 2010. The fashion was terrible. The music was not great. Yeah. The movies were not good. This one, and like TV shows, like you said, it was like a CW drama. That was like all the rage in 2010 was to have like ridiculous, soapy, shit like that. And so I think for the time they were like, oh, we're going to do this. Audiences are going to love it based on what's popular now. And then like 1 year later, when none of that was cool anymore, we're all like, oh, fuck this. Mm-hmm. I personally was a senior in high school in 2010. And so I have a very sharp memory of the culture of it all.
Did you remember when this movie came out? Did the kids in school talk about it?
I didn't see it because I famously am afraid of scary movies. So I never saw it. And I don't really remember people wanting to see this.
Also, I have to say that while we were watching this, Molly did cover her face up several times.
I know.
I didn't. Yeah.
I think she was more scared of this one than any of them.
Yeah.
Because I don't like jump scare. Like that's the thing.
Oh my God. Jump scares galore. Awful jump scares.
Like,
the worst.
I enjoy scary movies. I hate jump scares.
Okay.
Or sorry. I enjoy some scary movies. So I will say, since Dating Barrett Sigmund, Hottest Man Alive, I've watched
Natch.
I'll
fight you on that.
Like we watched all the Jason movies, we watched all the Freddy movies. I've seen like different like movies like Midsommar and shit like that, where it's like a scary movie, but I liked it. This shit I hate, like the just like and like shit like Paranormal Activity. I don't like that. I don't fuck with that.
I feel like around 2010, like all the scary movies were this.
Yes,
they were like high drama, lots of dumb background, and then a bunch of like
jump scare,
suspense. And then a jump scare.
Exactly, which is why
it's a recipe. It's like there's no originality to it. There's nothing.
And none of it even hit though. The suspense moments didn't hit. No. The jump scares didn't hit.
And that's why I think though I have gone my whole life thinking I hate scary movies because I probably saw like one or two.
Because you hadn't seen any fucking good
during
ones
the 2000s, and I was like, oh, I fucking hate this. It just makes me feel gross and weird and scared, and I don't like it.
Well, they stripped Freddy from everything that he was. He was always doing weird, his arms stretched super wide.
Yes.
He would lick people through the phone and shit like that. In this one, he's Jason. He's Halloween, the Mike Myers. He just is always like, except he talks a little bit, but he's mostly standing far away and walking closely to them, and then they turn around and he's not there, and they're in front of him. Like classic Halloween. Jason
it was like how we said.
That's not what Freddy does.
How we said in the last movie that people didn't like it because it lost all the like dream, like crazy, weird kills that Freddy does. In this movie, it was a full-on Freddy movie, and we still didn't get cool like Freddy kills.
No,
yeah,
there was one tongue scene. There was only one Freddy tongue scene,
and it was just kind of he just licked her.
It was weird. Yeah, it didn't come through the phone. It wasn't.
No, I need my Freddy tongues to come through the phone.
Yeah,
or at least like jiggle in his mouth in a creepy way, like he usually does. He does thing.
So to your point, I think it's the Dark Knight effect because, hey, let's reboot something. And make it like a little bit more grounded and serious and darker.
That's fun for superheroes, but not for fucking horror movies.
And I fucking agree with you 100%. I think with this movie, I think they were really trying to like not be because I love these movies, but like they are goofy.
Yeah,
and they do kind of towards the end, especially it got a little out of hand. I'm fine if they want to do like a more serious take on this. I'm fine, but fucking just do something fucking original with it, clever with it.
Don't copy the same things that happened in the first one and then like
to a T.
Yeah, oh my god! So let me get into my fucking thoughts. I don't think this is a hot take. I think most people probably are on my side here. I fucking hate remakes. I hate them. Mm-hmm. There's only a handful of remakes I actually like.
Wait, is Scream 5 supposed to be like a thing on a remake?
So
is that what they're doing?
I don't know. Scream. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. It's called Scream. It's not called Scream 5.
Just like the original Scream was called Scream.
Yeah, it's called Scream. So I don't know.
Okay, they're doing something on a remake.
Maybe they will.
But
I thought
it's gonna be good.
So we're all gonna go see it. I'm
sure.
fucking excited. It comes out like January, so we don't have long.
Ooh, we gotta watch.
Can we do a pod about it too?
We can.
Okay,
I'm fucking down.
We gotta watch through all of them.
I wouldn't mind just fucking keeping this going. I'm making a horror pod. I'm fucking down.
I'd be down.
I'm so fucking down. But what's weird too, I'll get back to what I was saying, but like I thought Scream 4 was kind of like doing the whole making fun of remakes, but
that's reboots.
Remakes, reboots. I don't know.
But it's its own story
But this movie, I don't know, like the good remakes like The Thing, The Fly, The Blob, like they take the same concept and just kind of go with like a
and thus in the title.
Yeah. But you look at
called The Freddy.
A good example to me is like The Thing. It's John Carpenter's The Thing, one of my all-time favorites, and it's like the original was just like this like cheesy fucking B movie with like some fucking Frankenstein monster in the Arctic. And then we're gonna really push like the kind of body horror, like
Frankenstein was in the Arctic at some point.
Do what?
In the original Frankenstein, he was in the Arctic.
He was actually in the book. I'm glad you mentioned that. But my point is, like the Thing remake had a whole new vibe to it. We're really gonna push like the practical effects, the creature effects, and it's almost like this weird alien like morphing body horror thing. It had its own identity.
Sure.
And I think if you're going to remake something, you need to have your own identity. You know,
you should pay like homage to something instead of totally
remake. And that's what that's just an example of a good remake. But that's what that remake did so well. It took the same like basic story and then did its own thing.
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't think the original is like that dated. Like, why did you really need to remake this?
Yeah.
Other than money, which this movie didn't make money. We'll get into that.
It's also funny when it's like everyone holds the first one as like the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and then they choose to remake the one that everyone still says is the best one. It's like, no, let it be. Can you not leave?
Well, my thing is,
the whole remake thing drives me crazy.
I fucking hate it. I hate remakes.
Well, I just feel like, especially with like, they did this with the Incredible Hulk. They had like 2 Hulk movies come out, and then like literally 5 years later, they were like different Hulks. And I was like, why are we still stuck on Hulk? Like, do people really give a fuck about this green dude with purple hair?
That was around this time too, right?
Yeah.
2008.
The Incredible Hulk was 2008, yeah.
Yes. It's like this whole era was so shitty because everyone was just like, but we can CGI now, and it looks so bad.
It looks awful.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the Dark Knight effect. Dark Knight's a good example. Like Batman Begins, like the last movie we had fucking Mr. Freeze and what killed the dinosaurs, the Ice Age, and it's like, okay, that's goofy. let's do something serious, and kind of strip down,
sure,
and make it grounded. That's a good example. Like, hey, let's take the same concept and do something like different with it. But this movie, I mean, like, I would like that first one still holds up. Like, I don't think you need to do a remake. And if you're gonna do another Freddy movie, I think, if you wanted to reboot it and kind of keep the same, like, kind of do a retelling of the origin or whatever, just have like different kills or do something different.
Make a different movie.
Because this movie, it is beat for beat the same fucking movie. And basically, when they tease it, they fucking pussy out. Because we were actually talking about this. I mean, Jeff mentioned this first. I'm glad he did when we were watching it. They kind of toy with the idea that fucking Freddy might be innocent.
Yeah, I think he's innocent, and that's why he's trying to kill them.
And I fucking read, and I'm skipping ahead of trivia, and we'll get to it, but that in the original script, he was innocent. Do something different. Do something fucking different, and that would have been if someone had seen the original, and you're going into this movie. Oh my god! Like, I didn't see that coming. That's a nice misdirection,
right?
So
yeah, I don't like it's a good choice though.
That would have
even if it's not a good, even if it's not a good,
pissed me off.
That would have pissed me off because also like. And this is another, like, let's talk about movies in the 2000s. They did the remake, the live action Grinch movie. I know this seems off topic.
No, I like where you're going with this.
The live action Grinch movie, they made it like, oh, the Grinch is the way he is because the Who's bullied him. Like, and it wasn't just like, no, the Grinch is the Grinch because he's a fucking Grinch. Like, that's who he is. Like, they had to dip into the whole, like, origin story of, like, he had a rough childhood.
Yeah,
and blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, I love it.
I love that.
Okay, no, don't.
Okay.
Well,
you're kind of dragging it.
I know. Don't get it twisted. It is one of my favorite movies, and my cousin Caroline actually can quote every single word from it.
Nice.
That's called autism.
It's a huge. Yeah, my cousin Caroline is autistic, or is on the spectrum. I don't know. You can't.
I think autistic is an okay thing to say.
I don't think it. Really? I think that's not how you word it anymore. No. Anyway, I'm sorry for.
No, I think it ebbed and flowed a little bit, but now it's back inside.
Back in it, okay. Yeah, but anyway, what I'm saying is the Grinch remake, like they threw in the whole like backstory, and that I feel like was a thing where they were like, let's take villains and like give you a reason to like them, and they're still doing that. But in this case, it was like, no, this is a horror movie. Like, we should never be like, Freddy was innocent the whole time.
So, okay.
He should be killing these kids.
To your point, Jeff, like, would that be a great decision? Maybe not. But it would be like, oh my God.
It would be a choice.
It would be a choice. It would be something fucking original is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I just remember what I do like about this movie, and it was they made a choice. They made a choice to use drugs.
I'm with you, Austin. I'm with you.
Yeah. Finally, caffeine is not the best drug to stay awake. Shocker,
yeah.
Shocker. Like, there's Ritalin out there.
Yeah.
Or they named it. What did they name it?
Zonerol.
Yeah. Is that a real drug? I don't know.
No, Adderall's a real drug.
Oh my God, they couldn't get the right Adderall.
They couldn't get the right Adderall.
Can we talk about, I hate when movies do this. I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over you. But real quick, the search engines in horror movies that can't afford the rights to
Oh God, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Gigablast. I just had to mention that, but go on.
Yeah. So we got Gigablast, we got Zonerol.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, they finally decided to start using fucking stimulants to stay awake, which honestly, why haven't you been doing that the whole time? You gonna drink coffee? You idiots.
When did
I did like a coffee under the bed.
When did the first movie come out?
84.
Okay, height of cocaine.
Yeah.
No one's using cocaine in there.
No one's smoking crack?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Come on.
Dumb.
Idiots.
I think what would have saved this movie is if they did like lines of coke.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. But honestly, what pissed me off also, I liked how the dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna pop some fucking Adderalls or Zonerols so I can stay awake. Hey, Nancy, you want some Zonerols? And she's like, no, I don't do drugs. Sorry. Like,
And it's
all
like,
right.
okay, have fun getting
until
murdered.
until the drugs fucking save her ass at the end.
And
Have
then
fun getting
finally-
murdered on your high horse.
Yeah, this is a pro-drug and pro-pedophile movie, I think.
Yeah, and I'm all for drugs.
It's kind of pro-pedophile.
We're pro-drug.
Yeah, if you got to stay awake, you got to do some drugs.
Before I move on, I also have to mention, like, there was parts in the movie where I guess it was like a dream and it was like blurry. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Dude, that was weird.
Like,
Like,
what are we
foreground
doing?
and background was blurry, and only like the focus was focused in a
Like, we
Correct.
get it.
What?
It's a fucking dream. Why
Yeah.
are you doing that? It's distracting. It looks awful.
Well, I
Yeah.
think what it was,
Oh,
like, so a lot of the old, like, horror movies and stuff, they would rub Vaseline on their camera lens to get that, like, effect, because they didn't have, like, any after effects, really.
Right.
So they would, like, so I think they were going for something like that, but that, it just looked awful in this, because it looked like they, like, just were a little out of focus, and you're like, can the camera be in focus?
Yeah,
It didn't, like, whereas it used to look like, ooh, like, what's going on? I can't
Yeah.
see everything.
Also, there's some bad ADR.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's
when the guy's getting arrested after Tina, I'm just gonna call her Tina. Discount Tina dies. Chris, whatever. He's like, I loved her, man. I loved her. I'm like,
Yeah.
we get it. We don't need that line. Like, we get that you're upset about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed like just a lot of weird ADR, just like.
Yeah, weird ADR shit. Also, a lot of bad CGI shit.
Can we talk about what I loved?
Especially-
I love practical effects, and what I loved about the original is I think I was even a bit of trivia was like, you know, that scene where I guess Nancy's sleeping, and over the bed there's a wall, and Freddy's face is looking like through,
like
and it's like
presses
and it was so
through.
cool. It just like movie magic, just simple tricks.
Right.
Just we
An
get
elastic sheet.
elastic sheet, and in this one it's CGI.
And it looks so
awful.
cheesy. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible.
I feel like we can shit on this movie for 5 hours.
I do too.
And I think we will get into shitting on it
Even
lot.
more.
when we cut into the section of rating the movie.
Yeah. And
So
the
should we
trivia
continue
and
for
the
now?
I will go on to trivia. Actually, some interesting trivia for this movie. Now I got to talk about Platinum Dunes. That is the production company that did this. It was founded by Michael Bay,
Of course.
of the Transformers fame,
Makes a
the
lot
Bad
of sense.
Boys.
They haven't done any of the others.
They have. They did the
I feel like
Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the Friday the 13th reboot that
Okay,
we
I've
saw
seen
last year.
Right.
So
Okay.
so they're just that's their thing.
I
They
did
just
like the
ruin
remake.
old movies.
Yeah.
I like the remake to
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, but I was probably like fucking 12 at the time that I saw it, and I had never seen the original at the time also. And now that I've seen the original,
So
I don't know. I am like, listen, I'm gonna come out to you guys on this
Oh my
podcast.
God.
I'm a
Wow.
Transformers hater.
I hate. Oh, that's not coming out. Everybody hates those.
Well,
movies.
when they first came out, though, when the first one came out, I felt like
First
everyone
one,
was
I
sucking
did-
its
yeah,
dick, and
I-
I was like, this
I-
movie's boring.
I was one of them. I did not think the
fell
first one was
asleep-
that bad.
I fell asleep in that movie like twice. I've never seen it all the way through
You don't
because
need
I
to.
thought it was so fucking bad.
Mm.
Anyway, that's it.
But
Not good.
some interesting people worked on this
That's
movie.
not nice.
Producer Brad Fuller, who actually did the Hannibal TV show.
Oh, okay.
So he actually did go on to do some decent stuff.
Hannibal Burst.
Brad
Yeah.
Fuller. But he stated that the movie did very well.
Alexander Hannibal.
This movie did very well. It had a $35 million budget and it grossed like 117. So like made triple its
That's
like
bullshit.
budget.
This is why the fucking world sucks, and this is why people's taste is awful in this goddamn country.
But what's interesting about this movie is that it did well and they were planning sequels. Like Rooney Mara, she signed on for like 2 movies. Jackie
They're
Earl
planning
Haley.
sequels of this.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there's already 7 of them already fucking written.
But
It's not that hard to read.
But honestly, but people hated this movie so much, like the critics and fans, that like they like Platinum Dunes just like straight up like stopped doing remakes.
good.
And they started doing like original stuff. Like this is the studio behind The Purge, like The Quiet Place. So, but like because of this movie, like
So
this
they're
movie,
kind of hacked movie makers.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean, Michael Bay. I
good,
mean,
yeah.
he funded. He started this
I've never
company.
seen
But
it first.
I just think that's interesting. Like this movie did well, but like everybody hated it so much that they like stopped doing remakes completely.
Whoa.
So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like they listened to the fans and the feedback, and they're like, let's just like stop doing this.
Good riddance.
But yeah, they did The Purge. This is the studio behind The Purge. I don't know if you like those movies, but
I haven't seen The Purge. I have seen A Quiet Place, and I didn't think it was that bad. I wasn't like my favorite thing in the world, but it was pretty good.
I mean, they followed the recipe. That's what I feel like they do. They just like follow the recipe of a scary movie and like add their little things, but there's nothing new, nothing exciting.
I actually have a quote. So Rooney Mara, who would go on, she's probably best known for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. She was nominated for an Oscar for that, which is a great movie. She was also in The Social Network. She was Erica Albright, the chick that broke Mark Zuckerberg's heart.
Yeah.
But she fucking hated being in this movie, and then she almost quit acting. And I have a very interesting quote. You kind of learn to self-sabotage with the thing that you don't want to get. Sometimes you don't want to get something, but you do a really good job and get it anyway. She's talking about her audition. That's kind of what happened with A Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't really want it, and then I went into the audition, and I was like, "Fuck, I definitely got that." And then she goes on to say, I didn't want to act anymore. I was like, this isn't what I signed up for. If this is what my opportunities are going to be like, then I'm not interested in acting. She fucking hated being in this movie.
Jesus.
Damn. Which I gotta say, we'll get into like best performance and stuff, but I thought she was probably the best actor in this.
She was honestly
overall.
I like her.
I
thought acting. I mean, we were making fun of CW and stuff. Like we're mentioning CW.
Yeah,
but
writing and directing. Yeah, I thought the acting is
was good.
It wasn't bad.
There was no Cop Daddy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, funny you mentioned that. They tried to get him to do a cameo. The original actor, but he was like busy doing something. AKA he did.
No one wanted.
And then Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy in the original, she was offered a cameo in this film. She was supposed to appear as a waitress in the film's opening diner scene. She declined the offer. I don't blame her. Why would do fucking thankless role?
Right.
Like, why would you want to be in this?
She was like, I was just in the last one as a main role. Now
just to be an Easter egg in this fucking remake.
Yeah. Like, no thanks. Yeah. Robert Englund. So he did give his blessing to Jackie Earle Haley, who he is best known for Rorschach in the Watchmen movie.
Right.
He's been in a lot of stuff, but that's probably what he's best known for. And that's the movie that got him the role. They saw, like, I guess the audition of that. And then that's what they were like, okay, that's our Freddy. But he gave his blessing.
What does that mean?
I guess he was like, I think he's going to be good.
Well, I think he might have been good. And
because Robert Englund didn't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, sure. You look great.
I just don't want to be in this piece of shit.
I think if Freddy was going to be something else other than what Robert Englund made it, he would have been good for that.
Right.
But he wasn't good for, like, a Freddy movie. I don't know.
But that's also the director and the writing. Like, I don't think they wanted him to. They didn't want him to be Robert Englund's Freddy.
Okay, so IMDb Trivia, every time I look through it, it's got some things I don't know if I believe, but I thought this was interesting. We could talk about it. Billy Bob Thornton and Steve Buscemi were considered to play Freddy Krueger. Steve Buscemi, no.
We wouldn't even have had that.
You actually like that?
You wouldn't even have had to CGI his face, man. He's so ugly. He would have looked like anybody.
And you know what I actually love? Billy Bob Thornton.
Actually, I actually don't hate Billy Bob as Freddy.
Yeah, I actually can see that and would have loved it.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
Steve
Buscemi, no,
not Steve Buscemi. Well, I don't know. Like, do you want to be goofy, Freddy? Maybe.
Billy Bob's goofy, though.
I just don't think Steve Buscemi's threatening. Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, I could see like, okay, he could be kind of threatening.
Oh yeah, ever seen the Friday Night Lights movie?
Oh, I actually like that movie.
Such a good movie.
God, okay, so this director.
We should do it on the TV show.
Oh my, I would love that.
You and me, Austin.
Yeah, let's do a Friday Night Lights.
Hell yes.
So this director, Samuel Bayer. He's actually directed. So he turned this movie down like twice. And then Michael Bay sends him an email. He's like, "Hey, I think you should really do this. I think this will open up. Like this will be good for your career. It'll open up all sorts of like opportunities and everything." And I looked it up. It hasn't directed anything since.
Michael Bay ruined this guy's career.
But this guy is actually interesting because he's like mostly known as like a music video director. Directed the Nirvana "Smells Like Teen Spirit" music video.
That's a good one.
Blind Melon's "No Rain." Oh, yeah. I can say yes. And then Garbage's "Only Happy When It Rains."
Could you sing that one for us?
I'm only happy when it rains.
But I was kind of curious. I was like, man, like this guy didn't direct another movie. Like, what did he do after? Still directing music videos. Directed the music video for Maroon 5's "Payphone."
Okay,
I'm on a payphone.
Interesting.
I just feel so bad. This guy, like,
yes, I'm on a payphone.
Yes, it sucks.
Oh my god, I only know it because I was a camp counselor in 2012.
Wait a minute. You were a camp counselor?
I was.
No way.
I feel like payphones were not a thing by the time Maroon 5 started.
No, they weren't. It was 2012 that song came out. 2012.
Yeah, payphones weren't like. I mean.
They weren't around.
No.
It was rare that you would see one.
No one knew what
they usually wouldn't work at that point.
Yeah.
They were disconnected.
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing a song about payphones? Because I remember that song came out. It was like 2014-ish.
Because that's another hack artist.
But I feel so fucking bad for this director. He was like, bad idea. And Michael Bay was like, do it. And he was like, okay. And then everybody hates the movie. Yeah. And he hasn't directed a movie since.
Yeah. How much did he make to direct this movie?
I did not look up his salary. I'm sure he made like at least $1 million. Probably.
Then you know what? He made the right decision. He can fucking have that.
Probably made more money than he would directing music videos.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if it ruined his career.
So Robert Englund, he this was his thoughts on the movie. He disliked the reboot. He claimed that the remake suffered from ineffective makeup effects and a lack of empathetic characters. Do we agree with that? Did we like Freddy's look?
No.
Oh God, no. You looked like Voldemort catfish.
Yeah, he was Voldemort cat man. Yeah.
Because I can kind of see what they were going for. And I did learn in my trivia that Two-Face, Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight, half of his face is burned. They got the same people who did that to do this.
Yeah, it just didn't work.
Harvey Dent looked great.
But he did. Actually, he looked awesome.
Yeah. In Dark Knight,
that still holds up. And that movie's like 13 years old, but
it didn't work in this context.
No.
I also think they took Robert Englund is such an iconic face for the character. It just didn't.
I didn't hate the look. I kind of like that because I know this was in Wes Craven's. Like this was kind of his original concept was like a burn victim, and I think he looked more like a burn victim.
Yeah,
I didn't hate his look actually.
His mouth looked so weird.
And his nose,
he looked like an alien burn victim.
Yes, he looked like a cat Voldemort alien.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a good look if this wasn't a Freddy movie. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked too supernatural.
If he was, if he was playing in a movie like Harry Potter as Voldemort,
hey, don't say his name.
Like he must do many names.
Anywho,
okay, so I do want to talk about the state of this series. So the rights reverted back to Wes Craven's estate. Unfortunately, Wes Craven is no longer with us. So they are trying to develop something. And they have pitched some ideas with HBO Max, maybe doing another movie or potential TV series. So something to keep an eye on.
TV series?
No. It is funny though. There was an anthology TV series, like Freddy's Nightmares. I found out about. I haven't seen any of this series, but apparently I guess he hosts it, and it's just kind of like a Twilight Zone type thing.
That's cool.
Okay.
Into that.
That'd be done.
And okay, did you know the YouTube channel Red Letter Media. Molly, I watch this all the time. It's like two dudes talking.
I do know.
On
no,
YouTube?
Talking about movies.
No, trust me, I know exactly.
They're the guys behind the prequel reviews.
Anyway, what? Red Letter Media. It's a YouTube channel. It's these two guys who
they're probably most famous for like making fun of like the prequel series, Star Wars movies.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how they got there. But anyway,
cool.
One of the guys,
a fucking giant franchise that looks like a fucking piece of shit. Cool. It's so easy to make fun of something.
So Jay, I thought this was funny.
Someone from Red Letter Media.
He was a stand-in for one of the actors. I think the guy who slit
his own throat.
Yeah. And he said that he was like just hanging out on the set, and the actor who played Freddy said that I hadn't seen the original since it was first in theaters, so I watched it in my hotel the other night, and it was just the worst movie I ever seen. So even the fucking main actor isn't passionate
isn't in it. Yeah,
he's just like not into it. I don't
the guy who was playing Freddy for this one,
was like
he just slit his throat right there.
Yeah, fuck that. Like if you're gonna play Freddy, be into it.
No wonder. Okay. Can we?
Can we get the categories?
I want to forget about this fucking movie.
Okay, guys.
It really ruined the whole franchise.
Let's get through the categories.
All right. So first category, best kill.
All right, we're gonna vamp for a while because Barrett had to go pee.
Best kill. Let's go.
Best kill.
I can't think of any good. I mean, you can't list any of the ones that happened in the first one because they were worse than the first one.
Yeah.
I did like the one at the end where he went through Connie Britton's eyes from the mirror.
That was definitely my favorite.
I hated that moment though so much.
That moment was stupid, but I liked the kill. I also liked the kill where he killed the dog, because dogs are so famously hated by everyone in America. So you knew that moment would really.
You didn't see him kill the dog though.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
But fuck dogs.
But yeah, I would, for me, best kill. I liked the Connie Britton thing at the end. The ending was fucking terrible, but the kill was the kill was the best kill.
I agree.
I agree. That is the best kill.
Yeah.
You know what? If they were gonna fucking remake this, at the very least, because I think we all hate the ending from the first one. I think, right? Can you at least fucking, if you're gonna do fucking anything, approve on the ending?
Right.
Yeah.
So do
a shot. Since you did shot for shot fucking bullshit for so much of this movie, I would have loved to just see a shot for shot.
A dummy coming out of the fucking door.
I want to see a dummy get sucked into a tiny little window.
So this ending still doesn't make any sense. Well, there is an ADR. Speaking of fucking shitty ADR, there is an ADR line where like, oh, we didn't find his body.
Yeah.
Right.
But like it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he just comes out of the mirror.
He has dream powers in the real world now.
He's back at the end. It's also dumb. You're doing a remake. Why are you like trying to set it up as if he's still around? It doesn't matter anymore. You're remaking the movie.
So that's a bummer. But it was cool seeing that the claw go through her eyes.
Yeah.
It was a good smash through the mirror. And then I love how because he appears as a reflection, smashes through the mirror, stabs her through her eyes, rips back out, and then as he rips back out, all the glass that shattered from the mirror all forms back together, but then it's covered in blood this time.
Honestly,
this is a cool effect.
As sad as it is, I was gonna say that is probably the most well done,
just
for sure shot.
I
hate to admit it.
Right. Best nude scene. We didn't get any nude scenes.
Wait.
Rudy Mara's back.
Yeah.
Back game was strong. Back game was strong.
We didn't even get any fucking.
Yeah, that was
almost nude.
That was it. Move on.
Yeah.
Most annoying character. Where did we land on this?
Freddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddy.
Oh my god!
Annoyed the shit out of me the whole time.
It was Freddy.
The flashback when I guess he's playing like fucking hide and seek with the kids. He's like one. First of all, they make Freddy a huge pussy.
They do. Movie. Oh my god, it's insane. They make
because they're trying to frame they're trying to make it seem like he's gonna be innocent,
right?
Yeah, but he's not, and no one ever believed him to be. So fuck you.
It was like the weakest fucking red herring in the world.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Which
I just kept laughing and be like, are they trying to act like that he's innocent?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Which kills me. We've talked about this when we were watching it. Like in the first one, I mean, this shit does happen. It's like, okay, well, like he got off on a technicality. The judge fucked up some paperwork.
Perfect.
Beautiful. And then in this one, the parents are like, oh, well, he just left town, but I guess they tracked him down. I guess he wasn't far from town.
Yeah, that was just a little lie.
Like, what?
Told, but it's just funny
they just like killed him, and I was like, okay.
It was just funny to me that when the daughter was asking the mom, and she was just like, yeah, well, he like molested all of you, but when we went to do something, he left. He left town before we could do anything, and it was just like.
And they're like, you didn't call the cops, and then they blow that question off, like, well, you know.
Well, no, they didn't want to put a bunch of kids on the stand. Having to talk about what he did to them, which is kind of an understandable
valid,
thing,
but also yeah.
I
don't know. Yeah.
All right, so Freddy, I'm with you guys.
For most annoying.
That flashback was brutal. I didn't like how he talked.
We didn't have a classic annoying character in this.
No, the
acting was not bad.
I've got to reiterate. I think the acting in this film was better than any of the other Freddy films.
I agree.
It's unfortunate that the script and the story was so
the directing and the
Okay, scariest scene. Were there? I mean, this is we're kind of pulling here, we're reaching, but were there any scenes that kind of a little bit maybe?
In general, I just hate jump scares, and so
the jump scares are. I hate that sound effect it does too. You know, like there's like a musical sting. That goes with the jump scare. I mean, honestly,
it's a mix of real low and real high.
Yes, I know.
Honestly, if you did the jump scare on its own, it probably wouldn't be. The jump scares on their own probably wouldn't be bad without that musical sting. I feel like.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I hate it.
I don't know if this was the scariest scene, but I enjoyed. There's one part where it was like she was definitely dreaming. She gets out of bed. She walks. I think this is Nancy. She walks to the mirror, and the camera goes up to like look at her in the mirror, and we're all like, okay, in the reflection, like classic fucking horror movie. In the reflection, you'll see Freddy behind her, and then like it just stared at her for a while, and then slowly panned down again. And I was like, I kind of like that move of being like. Linger on like, this always happens in horror movie, and then it just keeps going.
That was the only scene where I think me and Jeff both were like, "Ooh, like I'm on edge right now." And that was the only scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, that scene gave me some suspense.
Yeah, we talking about that. I'm sorry, I kind of zoned out. You talking about the bathroom mirror scene?
Yeah.
Yes, that's mine too. That was not bad actually.
Yeah, just that whole
misdirection.
And it came back, and when it does a misdirection, and it came back, and then her boyfriend is Freddy, which we knew was going to happen because that's what happened in the first one. So they're not going to change anything that would be new,
right?
Yeah.
I like that part, but I do want to say one thing about the entire scariness of this. The original Freddy, they did a really good job of like going into dream sequences without realizing you were going into dream sequences, and in this one. They did not do a good job of that.
Because they established as cool as the micro naps thing is,
right?
By them establishing that, it's like you kind of know what's a dream and what's not a dream.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. It's just the way it was directed. Like when he was like in the opening scene when he was at the diner and he was nodding off. It was like in one light, and then it shows him like lean his head forward, close his eyes for a second, and come back up. But the whole lights, now there's like lights blinking all around him like instantly. And it
was true. No, it was so obvious.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I get that the person who fell asleep isn't aware of that because they're dreaming. You're not aware of that type of shit. But us as the audience, the whole thing that was made the first movie so good was you didn't know when people were dreaming or not. So all of a sudden Freddy would pop up and you're like, oh, fuck, they're dreaming?
Yeah.
You know, but this one was like, oh. They're dreaming. Here comes Freddy.
Well, also that diner scene was directed weirdly. There's some stuff that didn't really make sense because you're like, oh, when nobody's at the chairs, you must be thinking dream. but then he slits his wrist, and then Katie Cassidy, the chick from Arrow, his throat. Sorry, same thing.
By the way, while Barrett said slit his wrist, he did put his hand and gesture it across his throat.
Yeah.
While saying wrist.
That's a throat.
But what I was trying to say is, the blonde chick is looking at him like slitting his throat. But then there's like nobody, and that's happening in real life, right?
Sorry, my Baltimore accent wore off on Barry. He just goes through.
That's happening in real life, but then you look at the diner and there's nobody in the seats. So like they fucked that up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was all fucking dummy.
It was all stupid. So we all done with scariest scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on. Best Freddy goof. I don't know. I kind of
No good. There were no good.
I did like the one-liner. He's like, talk about a wet dream, and she's like in that goop and that red shirt.
Sure, but it
Didn't even
was.
make sense.
But that one from being a Freddy goof, because he did that in the first movie. He said that same exact thing.
Right.
However, it went from being a Freddy goof to a Freddy gross because it was like a pedophile ass thing.
Yeah.
I have to mention, like, okay, so by making him, because here's the thing, we all kind of knew he was a pedophile, but by explicitly,
We all assumed.
but by straight up saying
He was a child murderer.
he was a child murderer, which
But
like,
no one murders children without molesting them
right,
first.
exactly.
I mean, I really do think, like, come on, 99.9%?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Diddle
anyway.
them before or after?
My point is like, okay, so Freddy
Why
is
else
like,
kill a kid?
Freddy's kind of a goofier character, right?
Yeah.
And like, he's a bad guy, but like, you're entertained by him. You kind of like him because he's making all these funny jokes.
Yeah, I love Freddy.
But by straight up saying he's a pedophile, it's like,
Yeah.
Am I alone in thinking
No,
that?
I
I
It
think
made it
like,
completely
just-
like, oh.
I don't
Well,
know.
you know what? I think in a previous podcast, I might have said the exact opposite, where like, dude, we know he's a pedophile, just say he's a pedophile. But then they did it, and it didn't work.
Well,
Yeah,
that-
it's like,
there's
oh.
yeah.
That's
I'm
why I
saving
didn't
a lot
say
of my
it.
notes for my final fucking things about all this, but
Point is, you cannot have a goofy character who's like kind of funny and you kind of like be a pedophile. Is what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
Like you
Yeah.
cannot get on board with that.
I agree.
Right.
So not really any Freddy Goose, I guess. Worst
Zero.
performance. I think we said this. We don't like Freddy. I don't hate him.
he's not Freddy.
Robert Englund is the king for sure.
Yeah, this guy.
I don't think this
He
was
didn't
bad.
try to be Freddy. He didn't like the first movie. He said it was an awful movie.
You're right.
He hates Freddy. So fuck him. He can't
Yeah,
be Freddy.
I don't think the performance was bad. I think you could
Fuck him. I
tell
don't give a
you
shit.
could tell they were trying to like. This movie's conflicted
The
because
director sucked.
for sure. I feel like this
Writer
movie.
sucked. The
Yes,
Freddy sucked.
you are right. This movie's conflicted because it wants to be this serious.
This was not.
It wants to be a serious reboot, but then they're throwing in these like kind of one-liners,
Right.
and with this Freddy, it just doesn't make sense.
He's got no.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm kind of with you. I think like out of everyone, like he is kind of the worst because the acting is not bad.
He was
Yeah.
always our go-to, like every fucking movie. We're like, oh, all the acting kind of sucks, but Freddy's always awesome.
It is so inverse.
This was reverse for
Yeah,
like,
it's the
everyone's
inverse
a good
of this
actor,
one.
and like I'm sure this guy is a fine actor or whatever, but like
He is a good actor. I love him
way
as
to
Rorschach.
destroy Freddy.
Yeah.
How do you kill Freddy? You put this fucking movie out.
Yeah.
Next.
Nice.
Next.
Okay. Best performance. I thought Rooney Mara. I like Rooney Mara as an actress. I thought she did good in this.
Yeah, I agree.
She cries.
She was good.
thought she was
I
good.
thought
Everyone
the
was
acting
good.
was good.
It's hard to
There
choose-
was no like standout to
Right.
me.
It's hard to choose the best actor when all the actors are good, but they're given horrible scripts
Yeah.
and horrible directing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, her and Quentin. I don't know. Like I kind of liked their chemistry together. It was
It
almost
was more believable than
yeah,
the
and
first
there
movie
was
for
like
sure.
a little bit of like a romance. Yeah, there was a little bit of romance. Like I kind of dug that. I mean, Nancy in the first one with Johnny Depp, I did not feel that
No,
chemistry
there was
at
no
all.
connection.
Like not at all. I kind of like those two. Yeah.
It's one of those two that I would make.
Yeah.
I also thought as a bit part, I might be partial just because I'm a Connie Britton fan, but I thought she
no, she wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, she was.
Everyone was good. It's just their dialogue.
Yeah, and Connie Britton is just a good actress.
Yeah.
So she's gonna do well with whatever.
Right.
I feel like this movie has ruined categories because it's just flipped everything on the
It
head.
really
Like
does.
we designed the categories based on these movies.
Yeah,
And
this
then this one's just not even a
It's
Freddy
just
movie.
like,
And I tell you
It was
what,
like
next time I fucking marathon these, and I won't do a podcast, but I'll marathon them on my own time.
right.
I'm not gonna watch this one. Like, why would I?
No.
Why the fuck
I'm never
why the-
watching this one.
why the
I
fuck
do.
would you?
I will say we watched it and I was like, oh, I wish we had ended on Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah,
Right.
this one really fucking.
It sucks.
You know what?
Bad
I
taste.
wanted this franchise to end with Freddy winking to the camera, headless. That's all.
I agree. I think that's
I
a
would
perfect.
love that.
That's
I
a
would
perfect
love
fucking
that.
goofy
Yes.
gloriness.
Yeah.
The last fucking category, funniest moment. I
Funny in
Funniest-
this film.
not in this one.
Nothing.
No.
Everything was stupid.
There wasn't
I
any
got
no
one.
levity to this movie. I'm
Jeff
not
has
saying
a funny movie.
you have a funny.
Yeah. So in the opening scene, like this badass kid was all mad that Christina or Chris or whatever her name
was like talking to him.
was talking to the other guy.
Yeah.
So he like walks out all bad. He like flips his hood on his head all badass as he walks out, and it looks so stupid. It looks so fucking
Yeah, I mean that was. the
I
only
wanted to
time we
punch that
laughed.
kid in the fucking face, and I laughed at that.
That was a classic 2010.
Yeah,
moment,
but I
and
guess
that was the only time we laughed the whole movie.
yeah.
And Austin just did it brilliantly. Okay, so we're done with categories. So,
God,
should we score
this movie
first, or
ruined
then
categories.
should we? Okay, so rank it. This is dead last for everybody. I feel like.
Let's do our rank and our score at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Each person
Austin,
go by.
rank and then score and then kind of general thoughts.
Okay, rank.
Do the opposite of that.
Whatever you want to do.
It's just bad.
Whatever you want to do, just
Yeah,
do.
score.
Would you rank it and then
Oh my
talk
God.
about it? No.
Score.
We're score, rank, whatever.
Ah! All right. I'm very confused now. Okay, rank. This comes in last.
That's like, yeah, whatever. Nora left that, so drink it.
Nice. This comes in last. It's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. It's good acting though. Other than that, yeah, it gets half a Freddy finger. It gets like the tip of Freddy's finger, like the fingernail of Freddy's finger.
Ooh.
That's all it gets. And final thoughts. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was the first movie redone in a shittier way, and it was awful. The acting was good. They did drugs, and that was cool. Drugs are cool. Kids, do drugs.
All right.
All right.
Jeffrey.
You're up.
Okay. So yeah, this movie was a remake for a remake that never needed to happen. Fucking flaw one of this movie is to really go deep into showing that he was a pedophile instead of just a child killer.
Yeah.
Number
it
two
didn't work.
mistake was having the kids believe he was innocent.
Oh my God. Me and Austin were looking at each other like, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were
What
really
the fuck?
painting Freddy as an innocent person.
Yeah.
And then the third mistake is that once you find out he's not innocent, we go into like the final scene is basically like a 5-minute rape scene.
Yeah.
It felt really
Oh, yeah.
disgusting
Where
to me.
she is in her clothes from when she was a little girl.
That's
Yeah,
my-
she's in
that's
her
my-
little
really
girl
That's my
dress.
favorite
She is
outfit.
tied to She is tied to the bed
It's
in the room
horrible.
where they
So bad.
were molested the
in
whole
the
time.
room where it
and he's
happened,
just-
the room where it happened.
and he's like lifting her skirt up
It's
with the
terrible.
nails while he's saying like,
Oh.
"Oh, you're with me. I'm your boyfriend now." Pulled that classic line, but it felt disgusting this time.
Yeah.
It took Freddy and it destroyed who Freddy was.
Terrible.
And we've gone through a long journey with all these Freddys and all these characters and the plots. And all of them we've had complaints about. But this one stripped Freddy from what he was. Freddy was always Freddy. This was not Freddy. This was not a Freddy movie. I don't know. I fucking the shaving of the piece of metal that falls off his nails as he goes across metal. The sparks that fly off is my rating, whatever that is, 0.001
half a finger.
Yeah.
No.
a point. A fourth.
0.75.
A fourth of a finger.
Yeah, 3/4 of a finger.
Wow.
No, it's a shaving of.
Wow,
finger.
you love
A fingernail. A fingernail.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. This movie sucked. It was by far the worst.
Yeah.
If I could name my top 3 of all Freddy's, I'm going to. Just watch 1, 3, and 7.
And then also 2, because that one's fun.
2's funny as fuck.
But I mean, if you want to have fun, then just watch all.
That's a great movie. You
Watch
get
all
your
of them
friends
besides
together. Get your friends together, drink some beer, and watch part 2.
Yeah.
I would argue go more for 5, but who am I?
You're no better.
But 1, 3, and 7, if you want to actually fucking see some good Freddy. Besides that, you're gonna get some fun trash, or you'll get this movie, which is just pure garbage.
Yeah, I gotta say, my thoughts on this kind of the same. If you're gonna watch Freddy, watch the originals. Don't watch this. It really did not do justice to any of the characters. It felt weird and gross and out of place. If anything, watch Freddy vs. Jason, because that's a fucking fun ass movie.
That is fun. A lot of hate for that movie. I love it. I think it's a great movie.
We had a great time with that.
A New Nightmare. Watch that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would give this movie the ranking of like the knuckle of Freddy's pinky before he even puts the knife on.
Oh my
this
God.
movie fucking blows.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So bad.
Let's move on to
So I do have a ranking on my letterbox. I actually made a list. Look
Of
at that.
course you
Look
did.
At that.
We should have all gotten Letterboxd before we did this, so that we could actually remember.
I wouldn't have kept up with it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
so-
we had a sheet last year
Yeah,
and we didn't keep up with it.
So Nightmare 3, Dream Warriors, that is my number 1. A New Nightmare is my number 2.
I love A New Nightmare.
I do too. That's such
I'm
a fun
liking this
movie.
list so far.
The original, I would put number 3. That's my
I
3rd.
agree.
Freddy versus Jason, number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
5,
Those are my
part
top
I agree
2.
with you, top 4.
Yeah.
Freddy's Gang for You. And then 6 would be, and now 6 and 7 are kind of interchangeable. 6 I would put part 4, The Dream Master. 7 I would put part 5, The Dream Child. And then
I love
8
the Dream Child.
is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. That was bad.
Oh,
And this is dead last.
I didn't think it could get worse than that.
And it did.
And it did.
It got so much.
This is dead
better.
last. And here's the thing. I already mentioned. I fucking hate remakes. I hate them. They don't do it. This movie fucking did nothing for me.
It was stupid.
If I were to score it, I mean, I guess I'll be a little bit more kinder than you guys. I'll give it a full finger. A full finger. I did think the performance. I thought the performances were good. I actually did not hate Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy, but I think the script let him down. Stop with the fucking one-liners. If you want to go your own way, Fleetwood Mac style, fucking make this dark and gritty. Don't try to force
Write a
feed.
new movie.
If it's gonna be pedophile, you can't do the one.
Right, you hit it on the head, Molly.
Yes.
And also, why does he have to? I mean, we kind of knew he was a pedophile, but just making him a pedophile and then having the one-liners.
Yeah, you can't do the
It's just-
silly bits with
Because that was the thing with the first one. It's like, this guy's awful, but we kind of love him.
Right.
And making him a quote-unquote child murderer is a little bit more I could take that a little bit more than a fucking child molester.
Yeah, when you're saying to a girl who's wearing her childhood dress, I'm your boyfriend now,
it's so gross and
Okay,
bad.
maybe the problem wasn't so much of them identifying him as a pedophile instead of a child murderer. It's that they played his creepiness on that.
Yes, all the
pedophile.
jokes were pedophile jokes.
Yeah, they were all pedophile jokes.
Yes.
Like everything he said to them
It
was like,
so bad.
"You don't remember me," you know, like and it was like everything was about him being a pedophile.
Gross.
Instead of like just an evil spirit who wants to kill kids.
Gross.
And they made them the kids that got touched.
Gross.
Because I think in the original, it wasn't their kids who got touched. I think it was like their little sisters and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was the parents' kids.
It was like the ancestors of it. Yeah.
I always thought it was the parents who got touched and then decided.
No, I think
No,
the
I
parents
don't
took.
think
So this movie was true in keeping with the parents were taking charge
right.
For
Their kids.
murdering kids. I don't fucking know.
I
Gross.
thought it was, yeah.
Gross, bad,
I don't know.
boo.
Let's just quit talking about this.
So
it's
also
over.
I want to mention something. Jeff, remember the Asian guy from Friday the 13th reboot? He does like a little vlog or
Yeah.
but then he like it's like each one is like, oh, I can't sleep. I'm seeing this guy in my dream. And then he just like fucking dies.
Yeah.
But how does he upload it?
Right, like the final one is his face being smashed into the camera.
Yeah, he falls asleep. You see him fall
It's
asleep.
like,
and then he
who
slams
uploaded
himself.
that?
Yeah.
Freddie was like, shit.
Yeah, I don't
How
think
do you use Google Glass or whatever it's called?
I don't think going live on Facebook was a thing at that time. Like, I don't think you were going live
No,
on
not at all.
YouTube.
No, this movie, it sucks. It's my least favorite. Now let me ask you this, guys. So we've watched all the Jasons, we've watched all the Freddys. Which series did we like more?
Oh, this is hard.
This is it's pretty tough for me.
Now I feel like I have nostalgia for Jason because it was a year ago.
So I'll tell you.
So I might be not remembering things as well.
I think I know the answer to this for me. I think my top 2 favorite movies from both those franchises come from the Freddy series.
Okay.
But I think that overall, I like the Jason series better. I thought they kind of maintained like a nice harmony and like a nice steady flow.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, but
Yes.
the highs of the Freddy series were higher than the Jason series.
Jeff?
Yeah, that is a good point. That's hard. I mean, I'm thinking back of I forget which Jason it was, but like where you had like the like biker gangsters who
Part 3.
Yeah, part 3 was
cool.
so fucking fun.
Yeah.
The ooh, baby.
Well, that's part 5.
Oh, I'm thinking part 5 then.
Okay, part 5. Yeah.
Like part 5 was just
Ooh, baby.
yeah. There's some, but I am remembering there were so many that were just boring and bad too.
Well, I think the issue with Jason was that it was 13 movies and not just 8.
Actually, 12.
That's true.
Only 12.
So
ironically enough, only
Okay.
12.
I think I'm still gonna go with Freddy as being my better choice. I think it's more when he's in his prime and he's having fun. It's so fun to watch.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Molly.
I don't know. I love the like early Jason like granted every Jason movie is not good. I would
Yeah, I agree.
but every Freddy
Except
movie
part 2.
is
Part
not
2 is
good.
amazing. I'm
Like
sorry.
I would say there's my top 4 Freddys, my top 4 Jasons. In those top 4 is Freddy versus Jason in both. And so I don't know though. I love the look of the Jason movies, the campiness of them all.
You can relate to it because you were you a camp
I was
counselor?
a camp counselor. I don't know. I appreciate Freddy, and I'm not saying that I dislike Freddy, but I am saying that there's a soft spot for Jason in my heart. So I'm gonna go Jason.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually really tough. So what I like about the Friday the 13th series is like it's simple. The Freddy series gets like
So complex.
it gets convoluted.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of
each
being like,
movie
what?
breaks its own rules, and I mean, fucking part 4. How does he come back? A dog pisses fire on him, and then 5 and 6 don't even bother to even explain how he comes back.
The Jason movies have weird ways of him coming back, but then he's back and everything's normal again.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's
So
just Jason's back.
so the first 4 like Friday the 13th movies, it's like, okay, he's hard to kill, but he is a man, and then he dies. And then part 6, it's like, fuck it, he's getting struck by lightning. He's a fucking undead zombie. I get it. Freddy, I don't know. It just depends on what. A lot of people don't give a fuck about logic, and I guess I don't to an extent. But like, you gotta give me some reason why he like keeps coming back. I know, right? But it's hard because I think the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, like, they are so creative and inventive with their kills. I mean, with a dream world, there's so much like more you can do.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's like it's neck and neck. I think I'll give the slight edge to Friday the 13th, just because I don't know, just the simplicity to them that I really appreciate. And it's but I love both series. I want to make that so abundantly clear.
I loved them both, but
Friday the 13th, like, while it's grounded in reality, a lot of times is coming up with a lot more fun and inventive kills than even Freddy is. I mean, beating someone to get
with that sleeping bag.
Or like in the other, I think it might have been the remake where they like just hang someone in their sleeping bag above a fire. Pushing a kid in a wheelchair.
The wheelchair kill. Also squishing the eyeballs, like the guy's face. The spear gun. The guy's doing the handstand and he gets chopped in half. Actually, I'm Freddy or Jason.
I'm starting. Ooh, I'm on the fence, but
it's tough because I love both these franchises. I've had a blast like watching these, but I think I'm Jason for me.
Finishing Jason, when we watched Freddy vs. Jason the first time, I thought for sure Freddy was going to be my favorite series of those two, but it didn't turn out that way.
We got both sides of the story.
You know, I'm currently writing the 13th Jason movie. Actually,
nice.
You know,
they just settled the rights.
You can see it at the Push Comedy Theater.
Well, it's like Jason's been to space. He's been to hell. Where hasn't he been?
The border.
Heaven.
Butthole.
No, heaven. Jason goes to heaven. He's saved.
Finally. I love that. I love thinking of Saved, the Mandy Moore movie.
I was going to think about
that. Instead of Macaulay Culkin.
Oh my God. I would fucking love that.
Anyway.
Anything else to add before we sign off?
Let's wrap it up.
I just have one comment. I think it would be kind of fun to like have a little month or whatever with your podcast. I'm trying to figure out if any remake is good. And we go through watching the original and then the remake. And see if any remake has ever been good.
I've toyed around with so many ideas for this podcast. I've toyed around with it just being a straight up horror podcast. I do love the remake.
I would love any remake.
The remake, comparing like the remakes,
the original and then the remake.
You know what? I do have a remake that I think is better than the original.
What is it?
And it is The Parent Trap.
Ooh, you know what?
Good choice.
My grandmother took me to see that.
You know what else?
Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap is better than the original.
I haven't seen any of the other ones, but I can't imagine them being any better than the one that I'm about to say. But the Star is Born with Lady Gaga.
Oh my God! Okay, guys, you want to do a Star is Born?
But that's like the sixth. I'm on the deep
it's better. It's good.
Have you seen any of the others?
We watched.
We tried to watch
the Barbara Streisand one, and we were like,
we fell asleep. I think
it was not good.
Before or after you had seen the
after. But we still, we really gave it a chance. We really gave it a chance.
That last one was so good.
Oh my God.
So are remakes only bad if you've seen the original first?
I don't. That's a tough question.
Let's find
This is what we'll find out with our new series.
Stay tuned.
Remake it.
Well, so I was gonna say. So there's that idea. Also, do we want to do the Scream idea? Watch the four Scream movies leading up to the film.
I mean, I'm going to do that regardless.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So we're probably going to do that. I'm going to say that.
All right.
Also, next Halloween, next October, we got to do Halloween.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And now there's here's the thing. This is tough.
And then Hellraisers?
Yes. Well, the first 4, because there's like fucking 8 shitty straight to DVD movies.
I love that.
Okay. So there's 12 Halloween movies, so we're gonna have to start like early.
Oh my God!
And then the 13th one comes out next October. So I was thinking we could watch all 12, and then we could all see the Halloween Ends in theaters.
Oh, okay.
I
So-
love when a horror series has like a movie that comes out that's like the final or it ends. I'm always like, bullshit.
Okay, so Scream, definitely go to, because there's only fucking 4 of those.
Yeah, and they're all boxed.
And then
And I love them.
And then the
Yeah,
5th
so-
one in January we're gonna review, and then Halloween next October, and then we'll probably do some remake, stuff.
Sure.
So I had a blast doing this.
This is
And
fantastic.
you know what I have to say before I sign off?
God.
Molly, you're gonna love this. It's about you. You did not fall asleep under the table this year. And I think we learned a lesson. Never watch 2 movies on the same night.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we didn't do that this
Never,
time.
never. We didn't do that. I thought we did great. We didn't really fight a whole lot. The 5th one, we got cranky. We got cranky during the 5th episode.
Yeah.
We really did.
Well, also, you guys fucking moved far away, so now we can't fucking walk home after a movie.
That's
so
true.
we
That's
couldn't
true.
do 2.
Yeah, we
unless
also have
crashed
to
here.
stay kind of sober-ish.
It's so
We're
annoying.
still getting hammered, but
I hate it. We should return the house.
yeah. Return.
All right, so
Get your money back.
we got a lot to figure out. Got to sell the house, but I really appreciate everybody. Well, the 2 people or 1 person who listens to this, I really appreciate it. And we'll.
All right.
I never know how to end these, so
Toodle noodle.
Looks like
Bye.
a
Look out, come, my friend. Hey, sir.